Hello, Josh. Welcome to the stream. Welcome everyone to the stream, but especially Josh, who is here first. I'm just letting everybody know that the stream is getting started. So I hope that you're excited to join us. It's been a while. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay. Please let me know if there's any kind of like audio issues or anything like that so I can try and get that all fixed up. Because I want to try and have a nice stream and have that all go smoothly. But yeah, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna do some projects. We're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna hope it goes well. Will it? Who knows? But we can try. We can certainly try. And that's real neat. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Hello, Sean. Hello, Brady. You can hear me. Good. Excellently. Excellent. You just wanted to let me know that someone would be here. Good. Cool. I'm glad. Okay. Alright, let me know if you can see the camera and you can see my little talkie guy going. It all looks good from my end. The audio seems to be pretty okay. But if anything's weird, let me know what's up. In general, even if stuff isn't weird, let me know what's up, because it's been a really long time. I've had a lot of stuff going on, just personal life wise, good stuff, bad stuff, just keeping me busy, and choosing to use other vices instead of mini painting really was a driving factor. But I just wanted to, obviously, Golden Demon and Adepticon are coming up, so I want to start getting everything squared away for that. And the first step in that is going to be putting a massive chocolatey base coat all over our brand new friend here. The theme of this one is going to be Banana Split. As you can see, I've got these beautiful 3D printed bananas attached to his backpack, so he can have a healthy snack at school, and share them with all his other Titan friends. I've been thinking of calling this one, so we have, I believe we have Brain Freeze, and we have Meltdown. And since this one is Banana Split themed, I thought I might go with Lickety Split as a name for him, but something better might come along. Sunday Bloody Sunday, but spelled like the treat, has been suggested to me once, and I thought, that's not bad. But, you know, this one is more Banana Split specific and not as focused on death and killing as some of the other suggestions. This is not the Mythical Chicken Award. This is the Mythical Chicken Award. I read too many of your comments all together at once, and I combined them into something that none of you said. No, this is not the Chicken Knight. As usual, Josh, I am not painting a Chicken Knight unless I am being paid a ridiculous amount of money to do so. Which I am not currently, but you're welcome to sponsor me. I may win the Golden Demon Most Candy Award. I feel like I would qualify easily for that award. But I mean, there are people out there who are painting way better candy miniatures than me, even with more skill. Like, I don't know if you've seen Skull Fenestrated. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the username correctly, but on Instagram, had these phenomenal peppermint mocha harlequins, and I think was going to enter a candy themed uh, diorama in Golden Demon, but unfortunately will no longer be attending the event, so not this year at least. I don't know. Maybe there'll be somebody I don't know there who's made something beautiful, and I'll be excited for it. I do have a lot of goals for Adepticon in general. I'm really hoping to meet Sam Lenz this time around. I didn't meet him last time, but he spoke so highly of my work, and I was not expecting that at all. So I'd really like to just meet him and maybe give him a mini that I've painted. I think that would be cool. I'm really looking forward to a lot of other stuff at Adepticon. There's a lot of people that I want to meet. And my partner and my friend are both flying in, so that's really exciting. And there's gonna be so much happening, both, like, I guess, quotation marks, professionally, and with miniature painting stuff, but also on, like, a personal level. I just have stuff I want to do and people I want to see, so it's going to be a busy couple of days. I did officially get them approved off from my job. Frankly, not that that was going to stop me going one way or another, but I'm glad to have them and not have to stress about any of that, or make, like, a bunch of call-ins and get told off for that and be in trouble for doing the thing that I want to do. So it's for the better that I, just get that time off that I've requested. But don't worry, either way, I'll be at Adepticon. Fortunately, it's the good way this time. And I will be going next year in all likelihood, so I'll battle for those days once again. Hey, howdy, hey, says Dueling with Brushes. Hello, welcome, how are you? Oh, thank you for cashing in your $5, a currency that Josh Soda invented. Sorry, I used your human name, Soda. I didn't mean to. I'll redact that from the record. A currency that Soda invented for us in my Discord. If you're new here, and you didn't know, I do have a Discord server. It's not like some others where you have to be on the Patreon or anything like that to join. You just stop on by. It's totally free. It will probably always be free. Because with a full-time job, I don't think I'll be able to dedicate nearly as much time as some people do to developing their channels with the goal of going pro. As much as I would like to be able to do that, I just realistically do not have the drive, because I have things like the big sads that make me tired. So I can't put the same amount of work into it, I feel like, while also maintaining a day job, because I need to eat and my cats need food. So I don't know if I'll ever be full pro, which is unfortunate. It would be rad one day, but we're trying manageable goals this year. But if you just want to support someone who occasionally streams and paints stuff and feels really bad that they haven't made a video in a while because they have the big sads and are the big tireds, you're more than welcome to join our Discord. I can't really be like, hey, support me on Patreon, because frankly, I don't know that I've done anything to merit your support there in a really long time. So, you don't worry about that. I'll post a link to the I'll post an invite thing. Hang on. Let's make this never expire. Generate a link. There we go. I'm doing the thing. There we go. Okay. Not you, Josh. Other Josh. Different Josh. Soda Josh. I just did a mistake and I called Soda Josh instead of calling Josh Soda. You know how it is. This is like the least exciting part of the entire process, is just putting on a big base coat. So you're here to help keep me entertained while I work through this. Because, Lord, it is not interesting. We do have 2 Joshes, which is a scary prospect. That's double the amount of Joshes that you would expect if your expectation is for 0 Joshes. But I'm lucky enough to have 2. And maybe I have other secret Joshes who just go by their usernames and will never reveal their human names, which is totally perfectly acceptable. I wouldn't want anyone to do that if they weren't comfortable. I'm going to use up so much Mornfang Brown, it is literally not even funny. Everything that is going to be chocolate has to be based in Mornfang Brown, because I only know how to paint chocolate and have it come out looking like chocolate and not dirt or worse. One way, with very particular colors, so I will not be straying from that today. Will I probably have to purchase yet another bottle of the same, 4 colors that I keep running out of? Almost inevitably. But we suffer for the things that we love sometimes. And me, I let my wallet suffer so that I can paint chocolate with the exact same recipe and never change it or experiment with it. Because I figured it out once, and I don't want to have to do it again. Now the Joshes are fighting. You're more than welcome to. I'm excited to meet anyone who will be at Adepticon. If you would like to say hello, it looks like I'm gonna be at the creator meet and greet thing that they have going on. Other creators encouraged me to sign up, so I'll be at that, which is wild. I don't really know who's gonna be coming to that to see me, but hey, I'll be there, and I'll have... People are saying to make stickers, so we'll see about getting some stickers made that I can give out. And if you see someone walking around in a big pastel clown jacket with a balloon dog on the back, that's probably me. Unless somebody else at the convention has taste, it's most likely me. So feel free to be like, hey, do I know you from YouTube? And I will give you a sticker and probably say something really awkward, because I don't know how to react when people say nice things to my face. But that is in a positive direction. I'm very glad, and you can ask me questions like, why do you paint stuff to look like candy? And I can say stuff like, I don't really know, it just kind of happens. And yeah, it'll be great. Mornfang Brown is a good brown. Yeah. Andy's betting on the other Josh. Hello, Andy. I don't think I said hello to you. Hello, Dueling with Brushes. I don't know if I actually said hello. I said hello to Brady. I said hello to Josh. I didn't say hello to Soda Josh specifically, but hello, Soda. I think that's everybody. Have I missed anyone? I said hello to Sean. Yeah, I've got you all. Okay, everybody in the chat I've said hello to. Did not post on Instagram that I was streaming, which may have been a mistake, but it's fine. Instagram is rad. I have over 1,000 followers on Instagram, which is wild. I think one of the most exciting things that happened to me recently on Instagram is I finished painting a goblin miniature, and Louise Sugden, my absolute favorite painter for miniatures, hands down, full stop, she shared that, and she said it was really cool, and she commented on it, and that made pretty much my entire life, so that's really rad. She seems really nice, and she said some nice things about my Titans before, so I'm excited to share the progress on this one and hopefully get some more positive feedback and get a few more smiles in there with any luck. The hard part is trying to paint everything brown, because, like, even the backs of these, I'm trying to get brown. I should have just gotten brown spray paint, because that would have given me a big old head start, but I didn't have any. I could probably pop this off and paint the back easier. Is that going to come off there easily, or is it going to, like, stick? No, it's definitely stuck on there. We'll figure it out. Or we won't stress about it. It is a piece that I'm putting in the highest caliber painting competition that I can find. So I might want to try and do all the bits of it correctly. But honestly, let's be real here, it's not going to win. It's not. It stands no chance, because it's just for funsies, and that's really okay. I still want to do my best on it, though, even if it's not going to win. I really should not have glued that on there before painting the back of it. Sub-assemblies. Sub-assemblies would have been the way to go. Hang on. I'm going to do something that may hurt some of you by ripping this apart partially. So. Ooh, that is not what I expected to happen. Plot twist, that happened. Alright, come on. There we go. Cool, so now we've got a leg separate, but we've also got this separate, which is what I wanted. We'll glue that leg back, that's fine. No worries. Let's see if we can get this one off here. Well, yeah, that won't come off. There we go. Right. Not a problem. That's a problem, though, because that's going to be difficult to paint. So, I have plastic glue for that. I have, just spilled, Tamiya, extra thin all over my hand, which is probably bad, because that can, like, dissolve plastic and stuff, right? That fuses that together. That's probably bad. Hang on. Sorry for the chaos. I will be right back, because I'm gonna go wash my hand. Ooh, I did a dump. Okay, so that was a little bit more chaotic of a start than perhaps initially envisioned for this stream. Got that. Got some paper towels. It's fine. We're doing absolutely fine. I see no issues with what we've done. We're good. We are fine. Where is Hector? Hector was trying to fish dishes out of the sink when I went to wash my hands. So he's having a great time. Absolutely good time. Hi, Keegan. Yes, it is good old I hate assembly fiver. That would be accurate at this time. Especially since I just kind of hastily disassembled something. But we're going to reassemble it. The cats, ever since I redid my hobby room, the cats are, they're kind of fortunately barred from entry so they don't eat plastic and destroy my models, and in general, cause a bunch of chaos. It's unfortunate, because that means you don't get to see them on the streamies, but it is way safer for them. And safety is really the part that I care about much more than, you know, you guys being able to see the cats. Yeah, hopefully the extra thin doesn't strip the varnish off this table, but honestly, we'll see what happens. Welcome, Andy. Glad to hear your cats are being rascals. That is the true occupation of all good cats, I would say. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of slide... Oh. Just gonna kind of slide that over. Let that sit there. And then we can paint the backside of these leggy things. Guards, pauldrons, armor plates, leggy things. I don't know what they're called. You don't know what they're called. GW probably does know what they're called. Did Hector get his dishes? No, I scolded him and he ran off. Hopefully he leaves them alone. That would be preferable. I haven't washed up from the dishes yet because a water main decided to stop functioning on my street. And we got a notice in our fun little mailbox from the city being like, hey, please boil all of your water before using it. Don't run things through the dishwasher. Basically, don't consume the water. It's fine to bathe in and wash your hands if you're not immediately eating after, but like don't consume it. So I didn't really feel like figuring out how to wash dishes without the dishwasher. Just like I didn't feel like doing them by hand without a running sink. This is supposed to be fixed by Tuesday, so I don't know if my plan, it shouldn't be to just let the dishes sit in the sink until Tuesday, but God, washing them by hand without running water is gonna be a little bit of a pain. And I already hate doing dishes, so that's not a good combination for me. That's kind of the worst. So yeah. I'm trying to be safe. I read their little, like, guide on things, so they were like, we can't guarantee that the water will be fine if you wash your dishes in the dishwasher. It didn't say, like, don't do it, but it was basically like, we can't guarantee that that's gonna be a safe thing to do. They also said that the water was, like, unsafe. Like, I got the notice at, like, 3 o'clock today, but had been using that water, well through yesterday, even though the water main broke at some point yesterday. So, like, that was post-lunch where I had already rinsed off vegetables with it and stuff like that and brushed my little chompers. Like, if the water's gonna mutate people, it's too late. I'm already gonna be subject to the mutations. I've already been contaminated, but we're trying to reduce that, and I'm trying to decide how much I care about the dishes and whether they will kill me or not. So that's a fun place for me to be. I will be drinking bottled water. I will not be drinking from the tap until at least Tuesday. It's like only for a couple blocks as well, and I just happen to be on them, of course. So it's really fun. It is nice though, because at first, like, I was using the water a little bit earlier and it kind of like sputtered coming out of the pipes, and I was like, oh fuck, if it did that thing that pipes do in winter where they kind of get all jacked up, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed about it. But it's like, no, we just legitimately have an issue with the water main, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that sounds like a not a me problem. That sounds like a problem that isn't going to be on me to fix and will not cost a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm all for it. Little Frog says maybe I'll mutate from a candy person into a regular normal person. Lamau, we can hope. But who knows? Who knows? I don't think I'm impervious to attacks. It's funny you should mention green stuff sculpting as well, Soda. That's kind of a hobby goals for 2024. Is I wanna try sculpting more. I have this idea that I want to do for an army that I'm not gonna buy, but might make a test model of. But it would require a shit ton of sculpting, and I think it might be a fun challenge, but I also might end up really hating it, so I might just get like a little test model as supporters on Patreon funded this treat at Adepticon model, because y'all have been real kind, and I have a little bit of money that I'm just saving for con expenditures to get little projects and stuff like that. So thank you. You're gonna sponsor some hobby purchases for me, and I appreciate it. Fiver mutates into Sixer. There's a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to in 2024. I think I mentioned that my partner is going to be coming to Adepticon. He doesn't live in the same country as me. If he's still awake, I should probably actually be scolding him to go to bed. So, go to bed, you. It's late. Get some sleep. Like all y'all, he's insomniac as fuck. So, it seems that I only befriend people with absolutely horrific sleep schedules. Seems to be a great way to make friends. Oh, fuck. I wasn't supposed to move that. Who let me move this leg? You let me pick this up the entire time while it was supposed to be adhering. Who let me do that? I guess I'm just gonna paint this other leg now, and then we'll stick it back on, because none of you stopped me. You all just watched that happen. Every single one of you. I'm still in frame, so. Yeah, that's probably true. You guys do like the chaos. Rebasing Tau was one of my most viewed streams because of the chaos that happened there, I think. That's another thing. I should really work on some Tau. I don't know if I like my current Tau color scheme. I don't think I hate it enough to, like, strip and paint the whole thing again, but I might just do some Tau experiments to get more of the army painted up. And I don't know if that means I'll eventually go back and, like, repaint everything, or if I'll just make different units of Tau, different little flavors. I still really like how boxy the Tau are. And yes, I do periodically forget that they are aliens in suits and not just little robots. But, you know, who cares? Let me have my things. Let me have my little guys in suits. Maybe a different pie. I don't know. Hello, Atomic Topher. That's fair, Little Frog. You are exonerated. Sean, you are also exonerated because petting cats is always an acceptable excuse. It's always an acceptable excuse. I'm not truly mad at any of you. I just scold because I enjoy doing that. Someone has to be responsible for all the terrible little children in the world who do not follow the rules and scold them for it. And I have no human children of my own, but I do have 3 little cats that run around and they cause mischief. And it is very fun to follow them around and scold them for all the mischief that they cause. I think that has to be a crucial, like, do I want to get a cat question? It should be like, do you generally enjoy scolding people for the little mischiefs that they cause? And if you're like, no, I actually really hate that, and I wish no mischief upon my house, don't get a cat. If you enjoy scolding little guys for their silly little antics, like finding them just sort of up on your counters, curious about what's in your sink, the way I found Hector not but a few moments ago, then maybe get a cat. If that kind of stuff is amusing to you, cats are gonna be little guys that you want to befriend. What the fuck am I doing or talking about? I'm not a vet or a pet expert. Don't listen to anything that I've said. Your cat scolds you? That's fair. My cats also scold me. Whenever they perceive food to be late, or it to be time for me to go to bed, or if they don't like when I take a piece of trash that they're trying to eat. And say, no, sir, you can't have that trash. It's not good for you. They will scold me for all of that. Frankly, as they should. They're cats. God, I think the last time I streamed was well before the holidays. Did you guys get good stuff for the holidays? How's your New Year's been going? Are any of you on the content grind of New Year, New Army? I did that. I made that joke last year, and then I painted like 6 Titans, 4 baby ones, and I finished up, well, technically 5. I didn't quite finish up my my mint one before the new year, but I finished it in December, so that basically counts. But this will be finishing off, because with this guy, that's a full 2,000 points for knights. Not that I intend to field this army competitively anywhere, because they were built for, oh look, that's cute, and not strategy. So yeah, they would not be the most competitive boyos in the world, but they're mine, and they can probably blow something up, you know. Like, that's good. That's kind of what you want a knight to do, I think. The only battle that some of these knights fought was my first 10th edition, my first and only 10th edition game against Ross, and they lost to like 6 million goblins on objective control, which makes sense. But yeah. It's kind of hard to kill a million little things when it's like, oh, well, you did 17 damage, but it all got absorbed by like 3 guys. It doesn't carry over or whatever. Frankly, I don't understand the rules well enough to be like, this is a stupid rule, and I don't understand the rules well enough to play strategic games either. What I do understand is I like painting miniatures, and that's where I fit into this hobby best, so I'll keep doing that. But if any of you are ever like, man, I really want to play Knights at a tournament, but I don't have the funding, I'd be happy to loan this army to a person that I trust just to see it perform, frankly. Arizona green tea. Stay hydrated. You know this is my drink of choice. I wish I was sponsored by Arizona green tea. I'm not. Let's see, what have you guys been up to? Good, yes. Also go to bed. Thank you, Sean, for helping. Ooh, yeah. Priming in the snow, I understand. That'll hold you back a little bit. What'd you buy, Andy? I don't know where Ross is. They're probably busy. I haven't heard from them in a little bit. I hope they're doing okay. I'll send them a DM. I'll check in on them. That's good. I gotta check in on people. They're showing as just like online. I'll just say, hey, my chat was like, we ain't seen Ross. We ain't seen Ross in a bit. Hope you're okay. There. Checked in on Ross. Thank you. That was very kind of you to worry about them. Aw, damn. That sucks, Sean. I hope that gets better. Pinched nerve sounds, like, really fucking painful. Hobbying with any kind of painful injury is not going to be ideal. I need to get as much hobbying in as possible because I plan on getting another tattoo, and that tends to not be great for wanting to paint when you have a hurdy bit, you know. It's just not ideal conditions. Okay, stuff for your Ava sisters. That makes sense. It's been fun seeing those come together. I really like seeing all the little helmets and how they could look on the different units. Our Discord is like a Cheers bar. We have regulars we keep an eye on. Apparently Roz was chatting in there yesterday, so they're fine. Say no worries, we just want to check it. I'm gonna tell Roz to have a nice night. Yeah, seems like Roz is fine, but you know, it's really cool to check on your friends when you're worried about them. That's super important. So I'm never not gonna do that. It's a good thing to do. It's a good habit to be in, frankly, is checking up on people. I've never watched Cheers, so I can't really confirm or deny if our Discord is anything like the Cheers bar. But if it is, and the Cheers bar is a nice place, then that's good. If it is and the Cheers bars is a bad place, then don't compare my Discord to the Cheers bar. I'm so sorry. I have no context for this. The only show I think that I've ever seen that was centered, like, the whole show was centered around a bar, is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And that bar, not a good place to be. That's kind of the opposite of the vibe that I want for the chat. Like, from what I remember of that show, all of the characters are extremely unpleasant. There's some wildly transphobic jokes. And at one point, I just remember Danny DeVito rolling around covered in hand sanitizer. So, like, that, not the vibe. Absolutely rancid vibes in that bar. And that is not the place that I want our chat to be. Always Sunny bar is just Adepticon? No. Adepticon is better than that. If Adepticon was like It's Always Sunny, I would not be fucking going to Adepticon. I would be staying the fuck home. That would be awful. They usually have, like, the Warhammer previews at Adepticon as well. I know they just had the ones for LVO. I've never been, like, at the Adepticon hotel before. I've never managed to get a room at the actual hotel that they're hosting Adepticon at. But I have this year, so I might wander on into the previews depending on when that's happening, and all that. See if I can catch that live and be excited for it and see what's going on, because I think that would be really rad. It's definitely something I stay up and watch on stream. Like, I was up until freaking 11 o'clock 12 o'clock last night watching that. I know there's mixed opinions with these streams. There always are. I think one of the most toxic chats that I have ever seen is the one in the Warhammer streams. I always try and hide that. I was watching it on my TV and I couldn't be bothered to find the setting that, like, turns the chat off. I really should have searched harder. That was wild to see. For every, like, normal person you have that's just saying, like, the little blood for the blood god, or a lot of people were saying rock and stone, which I assume is like a dwarf thing, but I don't actually know. For every one of those guys you have just, like, a bunch of people who are just being little weirdos, being very impatient with the hosts, and being very upset when, like, whatever they think would be good is not revealed. And I'm like, damn, that is not... When people are like, my fan community is the best community in the world, that's not there. It's not there. I did not see the best fan community in the world. And I certainly did not see it when they revealed a female model who was, like, actually really cool and badass looking, and all people were like, is like, oh, look at the fact that she's not wearing shoes. And I'm like, I need everybody in this chat to just calm the fuck down for, like, 8 solid minutes. And at no point did anybody do that. Hello, Max Sentence. Thank you for the wah. I feel like it's been ages since I painted an orc. I found a box of them the other day. I don't know if it's just orc parts or unbuilt orcs or what, but I was like, damn, it's been a while since I painted an orc. Can't say it's been a while since I painted an orc or goblin, because I did just finish that goblin. So at least we have that. Rock and Stone is a reference to the video game Deep Rock Galactic. Okay, cool. Yeah, tons of people were saying Rock and Stone. Like, I think at least 15% of what was posted in that chat was just people saying Rock and Stone. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there wasn't a single dwarf announced at all. So they were all rock and stoning for dwarves that weren't there. There were no dwarves. I hope that, like, they weren't majorly disappointed by that. But, yeah. Listen, I think the previews, if we want to get into that, if we want to have my take on the situation, we can certainly do that. Because, like, all I'm doing is painting brown, so it's good to have topics to talk about. Hello, Goober! Hello! Are you coming to Adepticon? I can't remember. Yeah, essentially it was a whole chat full of Quentin Tarantino. I was like, oh, I do not want to be here. I want to go home. And then I looked around and I was like, oh no, I'm at my home and I've willingly decided to put the Warhammer stream on TV and this is just what people are saying. Oh no. So yeah, it's always an eye-opener. It's never in the good way. Okay. Alright, we can do hot takes. I need to remember everything that was shown. So, I'll pull up, like, the... Does Warhammer Community have, like, a this is everything that was revealed at LVO kind of post? Because then I can take a look at that and go through it. Usually I post all of my hot takes directly into the Warhammer section of our chat with little screenshots of, like, what I thought was cool and what I thought was lame. But I didn't do that because I was tired and didn't want to socialize, which is the way you get sometimes. And I think that's cool and valid and was a positive choice. But yes, I will give you my take on the situation, which may be different from your take on the situation. For instance, I think tanks are lame and boring and all look the same. But I know that Soda does not think that all tanks are lame and boring and look the same. So I'm glad that Soda can have his tanks. They're not for me, and that's okay. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna fight you in a tank. Although, if we look at the combat log, okay, if we look at the fight, if we pull up the receipts for battles betwixt you and me, Soda, we fought in the glorious arena of combat that is a practice game of Necromundo where you were teaching me how to play. And I fucking won that, so I don't know how much bragging rights that gives me, but it's not 0. It's above 0 bragging rights. I'm not gonna fight in a tank. I don't want to be anywhere near a tank. Like I said, I'm not really a tank person. Okay. I'll set that down right here. We can while we are looking at the previews, I'll put the glue back on and we can wait for that leg to dry, and then maybe that'll keep me from touching it. Now, if any of you see me going for this leg, I want you to shout at me and be like, "No, Fiverr, don't do that. That would be bad. Stop, police." Well, not police. We don't call the police in this chat. Call a union representative. Call someone else. Okay. We're just gonna slot that in there. Beautiful. Okay. That's gonna be like that. Alright. Let's see what we got. Warhammer Community. Yeah, okay. Hang on. Let me see if I can get the screen. Yeah, okay. Alright. Do that. Put that here. And I don't know where my little guy is. Okay, we'll see. Hang on. I'm doing layers in the program. Should go right there. There's me. Okay. We can see the things. Excuse me. Sorry. That was a bit rude. Alright. Let's go through. We'll have my hot takes on the situation. Those are the guys. Good job on them for previewing stuff. I'm not going to get into any conspiracies about GW hosts or anything like that. That's for other people to do. Okay. Is that still showing up? Yeah, okay, cool. We got the Kill Team Nightmare. I think this is okay. Like, I'm not a Space Marine person, but if I was gonna get into Space Marines, it would have to be, like, Chaos ones. That I know. And it's, Night Lords are fun, because they got these stupid little mouths. I think those are funny, and I do like the bat wings. So, I don't think I would buy Night Lords. If I was gonna get Chaos Marines, they'd probably be World Eaters, because I like their lore better, but I do like that these are at least something. They're not the most generic things, but I can't pretend I'm excited about Space Marines. These, I would love to like, but I do actually hate them. I think that the forms are just ugly. Like, this is not a very readable action to me. And all of them, like, they look very similar. I mean, they're supposed to. They're like a squad. But everybody kind of has the same thing going on with their legs. Like, the differences are too slight for me to really notice. Like, the ones, this pose is extremely similar. And somehow, they don't have enough detail for me, while also having way too much detail. In a way that only GW models can. I just feel like they'd be a pain in the ass to paint, and I'm not gonna do it. But they're also like humanoid elves, and I'm not a big fan of painting humanoid elves. Or humanoids, really. I think this piece of terrain looks okay. It kind of looks like they made terrain out of, you know when you get like a computer, and it has like that molded styrofoam or molded cardboard? It kind of looks like that. Like, they just made terrain out of that. Yeah. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from this particular set. So that's my hot take on that one. Alright, hang on. Let me close that and see what you guys have to say. I won that Necromunda game because you didn't have a tank? That's silly. If you kit bash me a candy tank, I'll consider painting it. Yeah, I agree, Sean. I'm not a fan of the mandrakes. I don't really like them. That's fair. If you like them, Brady, more power to you. If I painted the corpses like fruit roll-ups still, not really gonna be for me. Maybe they are alternate builds, Goobert. To be fair, didn't look at that very closely. I don't know. I think they're all just supposed to be the separate models, but they're not. They were never gonna be my cup of tea to begin with. But that's fine. Few things are, to be honest. I'm very picky. We had the next one was a Warcry one, Pyre and Flood. I like that it's a pun on Fire and Blood, presumably. Like, I think that's funny. This guy's kind of rad. Again, I've painted, like, the Soulblight Gravelords before. They always have a little bit too much going on. I think having a ghost army is really sick, but I found that they're always really springy on their bases, and I can never get their little heads and skulls to fit in when I'm building them, so they're not my favorite. I do really like these guys with the armor and stuff. I think they're really neat. I like them, but I don't like them in a way that would prompt me to buy this army. I think these little soccer ball comet things look dumb. I hate them. Like, they don't seem to be, like, thrown by these guys, and they don't also really seem to be popping out of, like, the fire. They're just kind of like little spitballs that are there. I think this is probably the best pose, this, like, screaming one. But these are stupid. I don't know why they brought their soccer balls to war, but they shouldn't have. These, I mean, they're elves. I'm so sorry. Elves just aren't for me. They got a lot like, they have fun little dancey poses, but again, I feel like they'd be really springy models that would get caught on everything and be a pain to transport. I do like this color scheme. I think it's fun that their little, like, toesies are pointed. Like, they're doing little dance moves and stuff. Like, they're clearly trying. They're fine. If you like Lumineth, I feel like these would look good because, you know, they're Lumineth models. I like that their little hats have little ponies on them. But they're just, I can't, there's nothing about them that grips me. I just think that they're boring. That's really all I have to say about those ones. Then we got Kroot, which, like, wow, that's rad. I love that Kroot get to be a thing. I feel like everybody's talking about the Kroot. No one's talking about how, like, the preview image on the box totally tells us that we're gonna get, like, new Kroot hounds. Like, that's, I'm not smart, but that right there is a Kroot hound. So we're probably getting a new Kroot hound. I don't know. Like, have we gotten this big guy back here? There's, like, something that looks like it's on a spidery kind of thing. Like, just divining what we can from the box art might lead us to a couple ideas about what the rest of the Kroot line will be like. If they do make new Kroot hounds, I would probably like to buy them. I do really like this cover art image. I don't know if that's new or old, but it's got, like, this kind of, like, VHS tape box feel where, like, you buy this because the anime looks really sick, but then the animation's actually pretty shit. Like, I just like that. It's a good illustration. I would give this illustration, like, I would buy the VHS tape and then be pissed that it wasn't very good based off this illustration. So yeah, good art. I mean, I like Tau, so that's not surprising. They're fine. I've never really liked the Kroot's faces. But, I mean, that's cool. You can build it multiple different ways. This guy's got, like, those... Someone in this chat has played Rage, the video game. I used to play that with my sibling when I was in, like, middle school. And throw these little... I think they were called wing sticks at people. And that was really fun. So I like that it reminded me of that. But again, I'm just not a Kroot fan. However, it's not like they're boring. They are not boring. These are interesting. Just not for me. I like these weird pants. Also, everybody was commenting on how only the Kroot leaders seem to be wearing pants and everybody else isn't. So like this little guy, look at this. This is what I want. I want more little guys like this. This is a goon. This is a dummy. This is a little guy. I would like 12 of him. I don't know how I would paint him yet, but he is perfect. He's just dumb and stupid, and you can tell it in his little stupid face. Great. I'm giving a thumbs up to the camera now. But yeah, everybody else was just basically like, LOL, where are the Kroot's pants? They don't got pants. They're just chilling. Someone called them emaciated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And yeah, that's kind of the vibe. Like, again, they're not for me. I feel like there's a good level of not too much detail, but enough detail to be interesting on these models, which is good. I think they're just kind of okay. But for an infantry unit of Kroot, like, they look like Kroot infantry that's well sculpted. That's what you want. Like, this guy's fun. I don't want to paint him because I don't like Kroot, but he's a good, interesting model. I think that people who do like Kroot are going to be hype about this. And it looks like he is something interesting, and they've got different ways that you can build him, and he can be closed mouth or open mouth, which is fun. We love any unit with pets. These are cool. These, like, kind of gorilla guys. I'm saying gorilla like the animal, not gorilla like whatever, guerrilla warfare, you know? I think this is, like, a new unit that they designed. They're kind of fun. Again, Kroot just aren't for me, but they're rad. I like that that was a surprise, that they were like, you know what people want? Entire squad of Kroot. Here you go. This is the one that people weren't being reasonable about. I think this is a sick as hell model. Like, it's never gonna be what I want to paint. I don't like painting humanoids. But, like, if this was an enemy in a Dark Souls game, everybody would be like, that's a sick boss fight right there. Like, this looks like a good boss fight Dark Souls enemy. So I love that. I don't care about the book. I'm not gonna read it. I hope cool stuff happens and I get to, like, watch a video about it. Seeing this silhouette of this guy makes me want to paint that guy, because that's a sick silhouette. But yeah, I kind of don't have a lot to say about that one. It's a cool model, and I hope people have fun painting it. Let's see, what do we got here? These models, these feel very like we were supposed to be a part of the Cursed City board game, but we're not now. They're rad. They're really cool designs. Again, cat, this is the best part. But they're humanoid, and I don't like painting humans, so I'm not really gonna be picking these up, but none of them, not even the cat, really, and I wish the cat was, but none of them are giving little guy energy. Not a single one of these people could be described as a little guy. So yeah, they won't be making, they won't be getting into my collection. I do love that the painter, I think it's a painted detail, not a sculpted one, went with like the gray and pink patchy kind of Sphinx cat, as opposed to just the regular one. They did also call that cat a Siamese in the stream. It's a Sphinx cat. These guys not knowing their cat breeds. Nonsense. Sorry, I'm gonna take another swig of the old Arizona, read some of your takes. Let's see what I've missed out on here. Okay, what have you been saying? Let's see. Scrungle cat, yes, correct. He is a scrungly boy. blueberry pie Kroot. It's a thought. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to paint Kroot. Harlequin looking elves. Little goober ghosties. Yeah, the Lumineth elves do seem in motion and ready to kill. I would agree with that. Cereal Kroot, Fruit Brute Kroot. Kroot Loops is right there. If I was gonna paint them, I think I had posted this in my Discord earlier, but I would have done like a Toucan Sam Fruit Loops kind of Kroot. Little Frogs played Rage. Hell yeah. Where we're going, we don't need pants? Sure. No, not gorillas like the band, like the animal. Scrungle cat. Okay. I guess the Griffhound maybe gives a little bit of little guy, but not much. Not really. Not enough, frankly. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, this one was interesting. I really like this character as a Necromancer proxy because I think the current Necromancer model is kind of bad. It's old, but this is like, again, I feel like this would be a good Dark Souls enemy, and that's not a great way to judge whether a model's good or not, but it is how I'm gonna judge them. I really dig this, like, stupid bone collar thing going on here. That's rad. Humanoid, so I'm not super jazzed about painting this one. But my friend Mark loves hags in D&D, and I could just be like, here is a hag for you, enjoy. I feel like this is a really good hunchbacked zombie, like with the spine exposed is really neat. They're kind of like the zombies from Cursed City that I guess are now your I had incorrectly called the ghost Soulblight Gravelords before. Those are the vampires. The ghosts are called Nighthaunt. They're called Nighthaunt. I got those two mixed up. But the actual Soulblight Gravelords have zombies that kind of look like this, except they have stupid stuff sticking out of their back. I kind of wish they were more like this, because I think it's less dumb. I think he's fine. He's a good zombie model. This one I don't like. I don't like this dinosaur-ass bone that's coming out the back of it. No, thank you. I don't know how I feel about this one. But with the helmet, he's giving, like, 80s movie sword and sorcery bad guy kind of thing. I kind of love him for that, but I don't know. Overall, I'm not sure. Also, like, it's really weird the way that the skin is torn. Like, you would think that it would go, like, why is this coming up if these are, like, torn out? I don't understand where that part of the sculpt is really working. Like, I know I'm critiquing a zombie sculpt, but it is weird. I don't get it. I don't think that was the way that form should have been done, in my opinion. I can't sculpt, though, so I really have no right to speak on that. This, however, is sick. This is a 10 out of 10. What a wonderful, weird, gargoyle, bat, cat, wolf creature, werewolf thing. This I want to paint. This is so cool. I'm sad that it will be a model that I can't, like, just buy individually, because it's going to be in a box full of other models, but I would like to paint this one. It's really neat. This is my favorite model of all of the reveals. He's got little pants. He's got, like, big claws and stuff. He looks, like, I could paint this guy to look dumb. I could paint him to look scary. I have ideas for how I would paint him, and it would definitely be on the dumber side, but, like, That's just me. He's cool. I think this is the best thing that they showed me. That's the only thing that I was like, oh man, I gotta paint that. Pretty much everything else in the preview, I was like, I don't need to paint that. Okay, this is the last thing that they revealed. The Solar Auxilla Battle Group. I do like these because I think that they're robots. They are not. They're humans, but in their suits, they look like robots. And that's what's important to me. I like when things look like robots. They've got little doodads. We love a doodad. This one's got like a big gear thing on his back. He's got a little like fancy telecommunication wire. This one's got a scrub brush and a big punchy fist. I think this one's my favorite because he looks the dumbest. But yeah, these are good. I don't care about their actual lore. I like that they look like robots. They get less good the more human they look. Like, see, these ones have human faces. I don't want that. Go back to being a robot. This is good. This is bad. Or at least, this is to my taste. And this is not. I don't like when they're human. Just want them to be little guy. This is giving little guy. He's brought his, like, little cheer banner. He's a K-pop stan, and this is the light stick for his favorite band. He's very excited. He's been waiting to see them. He's going to go to the concert. He's got his poster ready. And, like, this is his friend that's like, I don't like this band, but I'm gonna go anyway. And then this is just a guy. He's not going anywhere or doing anything. He's just yelling. Probably something rude. I don't like him. He's not a friend. This is a tank. I can't say anything interesting about it. This is kind of okay. I don't love it, but you could little guyify this. It's alright. Oh, look, it's exactly the same tank. More little guys. These ones kind of have, like, spooky jack-o'-lantern mouths, which are fun. But again, these are little guys. They're great. Like, look, this one even has a little face that's like 2 eyes and a nose. He's got a little mascot cheering him on. Wonderful little guys. They got their little boots. They've got their little guns. They got their little speaker systems. This one's got, like, a monocle for some reason. Perfect. We love them. We love little robot guys. Oh, look, it's the exact same tank again. It's the exact same tank again. It's the same tank. They're all just tanks. That's it. Those are my hot takes. Lots of tanks. Lots of little guys. Thank you for joining that. Oh, hello, Lila. Hello, James. Sorry, I was busy going over the things that were revealed. How are you? Welcome. Good to have you. I am doing hobby, but I took a break for a little bit, to discuss the previews. Lila, to be honest with you, there's like 2 lady models. One of them is a necromancer, and she's kind of on the more like scrungly hag side of thing. I don't really think that she'd be your jam, but the crone witch lady is absolutely one that I could potentially see you being like, oh hell yeah, I would like to paint her. I could pull that one back up. Give me just a second. Or you could scroll back like a couple minutes in the stream. She's, or I can post a link to her. Hang on. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, it's this one. Crethuza, the Crone Seer. Check this out, Lila. Let me know what you think about this model. Yeah, I love the 1950s sci-fi robot aesthetic as well. We love the beep boop robot guys. Correct. They lived on the moon and space station, so they made space suits to protect themselves from the void. That's cool. Yeah, that's the one. See, that's the one I thought you'd like. Honestly, I'm excited for folks like you to get their hands on her. Like, I think you, maybe Dana Howe, maybe Scott Miniak would like to paint that model. But, like, that's just a human lady to me, you know? Like, she's got cool crow wings. She's probably got an intense backstory and, like, cool magic and stuff. But I don't give a fuck. She's not giving little guy energy. She's not a goon. She's not a stompy robot. She's not, like, a demon. So I'm just kind of like, fine. She's a cool lady who's probably evil. I would like to fight her in a Dark Souls game. Or Baldur's Gate 3 or something. But I don't want to paint that model. I don't. None of that is giving little guy energy. So I don't care. By the way, Lila, how is your hand doing? You sprained your arm, I believe. And then you told me that you were also at ice skating today. So, like, has my perception of time been completely fucked and you are well enough to have healed from all that? Or am I dumb? Or what's going on? How are you doing with that? Mochi is such a... I mean, you're lying when you say he's a good boy. I've met that cat. He is horribly behaved. He's wonderful. But, oh my god, is he ever a terror. I love him to death. I would take a bullet for that cat. He is so misbehaved. He is the screamiest of boys, and he wants all of the food. It's great. He's wonderful. The epitome of what a mischief cat should be. He is so not an angel. I love him. I love him so much. But you do have a sweet angel boy. This is cardamom erasure, and I won't stand for it. Demonic angel, yet still our angel. Mochi comes out, and he has his own, like, boss battle music. He's an angel in the same way that the fucking One-Winged Angel song plays whenever fucking Sephiroth shows up in a video game. It's just threatening, and you know shit's about to go down. I do not like base coating because it takes forever and it doesn't ever really be the most interesting thing in the world. That's my thoughts on the situation right now. But I'm doing it because it's necessary. It'll look good when it's done. Ugh. Model. There's a lot to do. I forgot that he also has arms that I need to paint. Ooh, fine. I guess I'll do that too. Sure is a Titan. Yup. No, this one is not going to be strawberry shortcake themed. This one is banana split themed. Can tell because I have grafted 2 3D printed bananas to the back of his little backpack. I don't know if it's focusing on that. Hopefully you can see that okay. No, that's fuzzy as fuck. Come on. But I've got these 2 bananas here so that in profile he kind of has like the banana splices, like this would be the dish, and then he will have whipped cream dollops with little cherries here, here, and here. And I have like a Dairy Queen poster sitting just off screen on my desk. And then we'll put chocolate sauce and like a caramely pineapple sauce and then a strawberry sauce, and it'll look like that, and it'll be good. But the ice cream is like vanilla, and I'm gonna do a fuck ton of freehand and stuff. It's gonna look good. It is going to take me a while, so you know, no dilly-dallying left for me. It took me so long to get the banana slices correct that I have the time that I have to get this done in. I'm going to spend every moment that I can reasonably afford to, and is safe for my mental health to do so, working away at this guy. Because I really want to make something delightful, and I want to make something that I'm proud of, and I want to make something that I can show to people and be like, look, this was the very best that I could do last year. This is the very best that I can do this year. Look how far I've come with my techniques and my ability, and I've practiced, and I've gotten better, and I've learned more, and I can make different guys now. Isn't that fantastic? So that's kind of the goal and the thought process and stuff. But yeah, we're going banana split. Fiverr and not painting Nurgle, name a more iconic duo. Yeah, for real. Listen, there have been a few opportunities where I said, I'll paint a Nurgle model if this happens, and it didn't happen, so I didn't have to paint a Nurgle model. Hee. I win. But yeah. I think banana split is more exciting than strawberry shortcake as well. I've already done a strawberry themed one. So like doing strawberry shortcake, like it would be hard to differentiate like strawberry shortcake from strawberry ice cream anyway, so I'm just kind of excited to do a fucking banana split. I think it's gonna look good. I'm hoping it's gonna look good. Yeah, this shit is bananas. Bananas. That's the hope. That'd actually be a pretty good song for me to put on the eventual Instagram reel when I do a turnaround of this model. So, hopefully I keep that in my mind. If the sun explodes and everybody dies, I'll paint Nurgle. No. My previous bets were if my friend Mark beats me in a game of Malifaux, then I'll paint Nurgle, and he did not. And then for charity, I was like, alright, if I'm in the top 5 of the Fabulous Marines, like, donations for the raffle, then I will paint a Nurgle, but I was not. Not in the top 5, which is good, because while I'm extremely proud and happy for every dollar that was donated, collectively, there was over like $200 that our community, my little squad of the community, raised, and I'm so proud and so happy. But however, I would much prefer to see the like huge $1,000 amounts that other people were like. I'm glad that there was enough that they were in the topmost portion. Like I'm happy that they were there. Because they really, really deserve to be. I really do hope that in the future, with Fabulous Marines and stuff like that, I really need to start advocating for people to look into charities that aren't just the Trevor Project as well, because there has been a little bit of controversy regarding that organization. And I worry that no one in the hobby is going to look into that as much. I was trying to direct some donations towards an organization called Point of Pride, which specifically helps out trans individuals get access to gender-affirming care at no cost, helps them with resources, and like donates gender-affirming shapewear as well directly to trans people who can't afford it otherwise. It's basically like if you want a charity that just gives money to trans people so that they can live their lives comfortably or as comfortably as possible. Like, it's such a good organization for that. But a lot of people don't seem to know about it, so I should be more vocal, and get in touch with organizers of stuff and see if I can be like, hey, maybe consider splitting the profits between these two charities, because we could do a lot of good at this smaller charity that no one seems to be talking about, and I only found out about myself from a Jacob Geller charity stream, but like, we should look into that, because a ton of people are going to just choose the Trevor Project to donate to, because it's the charity that they already know, and it's like, there's tons out there, and I would really like if we could look at all of them and see what we can do and try and spread that around and hopefully help people out, because that's really rad. I'm glad that the clown collab gets so much attention. It's really nice. I got a couple nasty comments about it this year, which was unfortunate. Those were my first ever mean comments, and I was just like, oh no. People need to, like, chill the fuck out. It is really quite the ordeal to organize, though, and usually burns me out and makes me super tired afterwards, because trying to organize a project that big with that many contributors is, it's a lot, and I don't rightly know what to do with the army now that I have it. Like, I never really considered what to do with it, and so sometimes people ask me, what are you gonna do with it? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna just stick it in my hobby cabinet and have it be there. But really, I started that project because I felt like, oh man, I don't actually know if there's anybody that's supportive in this community, or if there is anybody that's stated non-binary in this community at all. And I felt like, fuck, well, if I'm gonna make content, and I'm gonna be me in my content, I want other people to at least have one video where they're like, oh, sick, there are some supportive people out there. So that's neat. And I'm glad about that. Please know that if I don't do the clown collab, it is not because I got bullied out of it. It's just I'm one person who has to work a full-time job and support myself, and I'm having the big sads often. It's very difficult for me to just take care of myself some days, so organizing big-ass projects is, like, a lot, and that's kind of intimidating the more it's grown. I do think it's it became more important than I realized, but I didn't, like, think it out very good. Like, I should have known what to do with the army. I should have maybe not chosen clowns, because, like, people are like, oh, well, you're a real clown if you support this. And it's like, no, I just think clowns are neat, and a lot of other queer people do too. I just like clowns. It wasn't very thought out. I don't know. But yeah, that's certainly become something that I've been known for, so that's rad. Thanks anyone who's ever participated or thought about participating in that collab. Make me very happy. I do remain undefeated in Malifaux as of now, but that could very easily change. However, it will not be changing this year for the simple reason of Mark, if he lost, had to watch all of Evangelion, and he hasn't yet. So until he does that, I will decline his offers for a rematch, citing my prize has not been satisfied. I've not been paid, so to speak, so I do not think there will be a Malifaux rematch this year. At least not one that I bet on. Yeah, I talked about it in the latest Clown Collab video that I did as well. I mentioned Point of Pride, and I tried to make that clear in any of the, like, posting that I did, but I could stand to be louder about it, Lila. But yeah, Point of Pride is great. And if you do a Pride Month video this year, I would highly recommend pointing out Point of Pride to people, because that would be really rad. I think you should do that. You have a larger audience than I do, and it would be really cool if you were like, hey, what about trans rights to your audience? 'Cause reaching more people means they get more money, and they can help more people. So, like, that'd be fucking rad. I don't know, though. People are gonna hate on everyone for that, and that's big scary to me right now, so yeah, I can't handle stuff like that very well at the moment, unfortunately. I couldn't really advise. I just hide in my relative obscurity and try not to be upsetting, because I'm bad at confrontation. Oh my gosh, LP is here! Speaking of trans rights, what a time. You also care about, like, you know, the LGBTQ plus community. So, it's cool that you're here when we're discussing the Clown Collab and charity organizations. What up? Another supportive friend. How are you? I don't know that I would ever want to do another battle report stream, because I'm really bad at playing the game. But that is a thought. Sick. I'm glad that you found this channel through the Clown Collab. And yeah, haters are always gonna be there. It's just, you know, it's easy to say stuff like that. It's very difficult for me to read it and respond to it. I just delete. I don't respond to anything. I just delete things because I don't want other people to see them. But I'm not very good at handling situations in general. I'm just tired most of the time. So it's difficult to put that kind of stuff out there knowing that there's a high likelihood that you're going to get some amount of negative response. It doesn't mean I shouldn't be putting it out there, but, like, I'm also just a person. I don't like being hated on. I don't think that anybody does, frankly. Get in the robot, or Malifaux gets it again. Yeah, I mean, my friend Mark's trying to, like, get his master's degree and stuff, so, like, he's actually contributing to society and writing papers and is busy, like, academically speaking, so I can't really be like, bruh, how come you haven't finished watching Neon Genesis? Like, I think he has some bigger priorities than satisfying a silly little bit. Although I'm sure if it was the other way round, I'd be constantly like, so when you get into that great unclean one. So yeah, you know, but it's fine. I am just a little guy. That is very true, little frog. Just like you're just a little frog. Oh hell yeah, Atomic Topher. Those wolves would make some great Dalmatians. Yeah, being misgendered sucks. I work at a job where like I can't really I'm I work customer service on the phone, so I can't really like correct customers for misgendering me. I don't think. I've asked my boss about it repeatedly and he keeps not having answers. Um but I'm so sick of it. I know people are just like trying to be polite about it, but I want to bite heads off at this point. So yeah, it's rough out there. It just builds up over time when you can't like say anything about it. Oh my gosh, yeah. Do absolutely go buy yourself pizza and ice cream when things are stressy. Like, I'm sorry that people were mean to you. I hate that for you. I wish that they weren't. I watched your latest video and I thought you talked about the paint that you were using in a way that made sense. I didn't really have any strong opinion about it just because paint review videos aren't the type of videos that I'm like, wow, this is neat and I'm excited. But like, it's a paint review video and you reviewed the paint. I don't understand why people would be like, wow, that was bad and you suck. Like, no, you reviewed the paint and you shared your thoughts about it. That's literally what was asked for. People are so weird sometimes. Do I wear hats much? I do wear hats on occasion. Um, I like a hat now and again. I've been known to wear them. Typically, I wear, so that you've seen me wear hats. I've worn beanies at Adepticon and Gen Con as well. I do wear hats. I thought that was someone who had never met me. You've seen me in person. I have surely worn a hat around you. That's great. Yes, I do wear hats. I don't have a hat that says just a little guy. But I would probably wear one if I did. I do have a beanie that says certified clown on it, which is pretty rad. It also has confetti patterns on it, which is rad. So, yeah. People are weird. I would wear a ball cap. I don't think I have any baseball hats, but that's just because, like, you move out and you're, like, going through stuff and you're like, do I really need this Disney World hat that I got when I was, like, 7 that doesn't fit me anymore? And you're like, no, I probably don't need that. I don't have any ball caps currently, but like I should get one or two because people see someone with short hair and a ball cap and they might be like, that's a boy. And then they look at me and they're like, wait, that's not a boy, that's just a little guy. And honestly, in terms of gender presentation, my objective is to confuse, because then people don't know what to say as opposed to saying the wrong thing. They just do that smart thing where they shut the fuck up. I am more known for my clown jacket. Yes, that would be correct. I just feel that's more distinctive. Although, last time when I was at Adepticon and Brent Goobertown Hobbies found me, he was like, yeah, I just looked for a person with, like, dyed blonde hair, and I had dyed blonde hair at the time, and I'm like, I cannot be the only person at this convention with that hair color, but, like, I guess that was distinctive enough, so, I don't know. Listen, I have a character design. I give off clown vibes. It's fine. Hey, it's Roz. Welcome. Yeah. Listen, there's no, like, people want to use honorifics to be polite. Like, they want to say sir or ma'am or something like that, and I get it. And people don't know that, like, there's no conventionally accepted by the masses non-binary honorific. I'm fine with hey you, like, that doesn't have a gender and that would work for me. But, like, I know most people are just doing it to be polite. It just isn't to me. And unfortunately, the thing about, like, having microaggressions is you want to bite people's faces off, but you know that you, like, can't because they're objectively, like, most of the time, unless someone's being an actual asshole and has been corrected and they're just doing it to, like, be a dick, you know that they're not doing it to be rude. It's just this specific thing happens to you, like, 8 times a day, every day, and it builds up, and you're like, I don't like this. So, you know, the unfortunate part is until society just changes its conventions of honorifics, there's really not a whole fuck of a lot I can do about it. Although, when The Bear, that show on Hulu came out, and everybody was just saying yes chef to stuff, that was, oh, fuck yeah, that was perfect. That was so good. At the tattoo parlor that I go to, the guy who runs it was just calling all of his tattoo artists chef, and it was great. They were like, yeah, I'm about done with this. I'm not a chef, and I'm ready to kill this guy, but I was, like, sitting around gender affirmed the entire appointment. It was fantastic. I want to bring that back. That was a good moment in time. Hi, Mari! Yeah, lots of other countries have, like, just non-gendered ones. Like, I know, like, love is very just, like, popular in other countries as a non-gendered honorific. Or other countries don't use, like, sir or ma'am, or they say mate or something like that. And that's perfect. I don't mind any of that. But America is not the same as everywhere else, and sometimes make decisions that piss me off. So here we are. Suffering. It's fun. Boss is great. Boss is good too. I love that. That's fantastic. I've got a friend Marty who calls me boss and sport and champ and buddy, and all of those are good. There's a Care Bear, Champ Bear. Hell yeah, we're bringing this back to Care Bears because why the fuck not? Who just calls everybody sports fan, and like, I'm not a fan of sports. I would much rather be called sports fan than any specifically gendered honorific. And I know there's, like, you know, there's the concept of spelling sir with an ER or a YR, and, like, that would work fine too, but I don't think society's gonna be adopting that one. Yeah, 2 of my greatest friends in the world are expecting a child, and like they're like, yeah, we don't, like, I was like, oh, sick. Oh, fuck, that the leg didn't attach. I need to I'll re-glue that at the end of the thing because it's not attaching right now, and that's fine. But they were like, yeah, they're like, you're not Catholic, so you can't actually be a godparent or something, but like we'll find something that's, you know, that works for you in terms of honorific. And like, I think at some point I was just like, oh yeah, a lot of people have just been like, chef works, and they're like, Chef Fiverr totally works. And so for the rest of the trip, when I went to visit them, my friend's husband was just like, can I get the door for you, chef? And stuff like that. It was great. I was having so much fun. Ugh, good times. Sports fan is great. Yeah, you have Care Bears to thank for that one. You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, saying partner does have that kind of Wild West feel, I won't lie. I wish there was something else. Like, my partner introduces me as their partner, and I have to admit, the Cowboy Association is there. I don't mind it because I'd much rather be partner than girl or boyfriend, which is inaccurate. But, like, damn, we need to be Shakespeare out here just inventing words because there are not adequate ones for all of the specificity that is needed nowadays. You're telling me not to do something, little frog. I'm so sorry. What are you telling me not to do? I missed that. Yeah, I was under that impression as well, Lila, that it was just like fairy godparent, right? Like it was just a thing. My friends are Catholic though. So they do actually do it in like the Catholic sense of like this is a spiritual guide for our child. You have to be Catholic to be a godparent. But they say it in an amusing way because they know I am very not religious and don't care a whit about that at all. But yeah, that's why obviously I would not be picked to be this child's godparent. Oh, picking up the legs. Yeah, I fucking you got me and I didn't. It's thank you for calling me out on that. It's we're fine. I'm gonna just base coat these bananas for now and we'll see where we get. Kind of all over the place with stuff, but what else do you expect from a hobby stream? We've been going for almost 2 hours now, so yep. Definitely time for the brain to just be like doo 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 on autopilot, doing things. Whatever happens, happens. And that's fine. We're happy enough. We'll figure it all out. Partner in crime, cowpoke, joy friend, scoundrel. I've never, like, I get where the term NB comes from. I just don't like it personally, so I would never want, NB friend would not be, working for me as well. It's gotta feel right to me, and so far, nothing else has, but that's fine. We're living in partner land, being cowboys. Like a mafia godfather, godparent fighter. Yes, we return to Titan, Gurmudgeon. We are here painting Titans. The classic. The thing that put me on the map, so to speak. Which is actually a really cool thing to put you on the map, so to speak, is having a lot of people say very kind things about a model that you worked your butt off on. Like, it's still one of the wildest, coolest things that has ever, or probably will ever happen to me, was my experience at last year's Adepticon with the Strawberry Knight, and listen, I can only hope to recapture that magic with this knight, but that means this knight has to be better than that knight, and frankly, I don't know if that's gonna be possible. I don't know if I can do it, but I'm certainly going to try my best. And I can't do any better than my best, so that's all I can do. And even if it's not better, I still will have something at the end. And that's cool. I'll have a finished knight army. And I will have not compromised with what I wanted to do for any of the models in the army. I always wanted to paint this particular knight like a banana split because I just think its carapace is the right shape for it. So here I am doing it. And I went through a lot of iterations with these bananas to attach to its backpack, and a lot of them weren't right, and I was having trouble articulating what I wanted, but I kept trying until I got a result that was the thing that I wanted. So hopefully this all leads to having a night in the end that looks the way that I hope that it does, and people are like, that's cool. And there's gonna be people out there who totally miss the fact that this is a banana split night. They'll call it all kinds of things. I mean, last year people were saying I had a cupcake night and all other kinds of shit, so it's fine. I'll communicate the theme clearly enough to me, and that's all I can do. And hopefully I'm happy with it in the end. That's more important than other people being happy with it. Is that me Fiverr likes it. And that's honestly a pretty tough bar to reach. So, I'm not the religious type, but there are deities out there. Maybe that rat, the rat pope that's risen up around the Chicago rat hole. Maybe offer a few pennies to him for having this turn out the way that I hope that it does. And if you don't know about the Chicago rat hole, where have you been for the past, 6 days? Scoundrel is a good one. I don't want to be scoundrel is not respectful. So it would be difficult because that one doesn't really work as an honorific, because if you're calling someone a scoundrel, you're probably not doing it from a place of, I'm trying to be polite to you in a store. That's kind of the niche that isn't there. But yes, nights. I'm happy that I'm painting again too. I know I wasn't for a while, because I was busy and I was getting into a new relationship, which is, always kind of wild. I haven't talked much about my partner, but that is not because I am embarrassed about it or anything. But he's a very private person. And honestly, I don't know if how we're still figuring stuff out all of the time, so I don't want to just be yeah, this is the man that I am dating, and here's why he's really rad and cool. But I could. God, could I? He is really rad and cool, and it's really nice to be in a relationship that is different from the previous relationship that I was in. I'm hoping that all goes well. We have been in a relationship for a little bit of time now, and things seem to be pretty cool. So that's all I'm really gonna say on that topic, but it certainly does take up a lot of time when you have exciting new things to do that aren't necessarily painting miniatures. And then holidays, big sads, all that kind of stuff. It compounds, and you're just kind of I don't really feel like working on the things that I want to do. To be fair, I was also doing a lot of calligraphy, and I've been working on in-universe style journal for my Elden Ring character, and that takes a lot of time. So I have been doing creative pursuits, but they're not always Warhammer painting. Yeah, okay. Roz, circling back to the Chicago rat hole. In a neighborhood in Chicago, I don't remember, I know it's not Boys Town, but it's near Boys Town. I think it's Roscoe Village? I think that's the name of it. I don't understand how any boroughs or towns or any of that shit works. I'm not from Chicago, and I'm not from New York, where they have something similar. I don't fucking understand how that works. But in the area near Chicago, I guess a new sidewalk was paved, and no one knows how it happened exactly, but there's just a hole in the shape of a rat. So presumably a rat fell into the concrete and made like a perfect cartoon rat splat in the concrete. And a guy found it and made a TikTok about it. And then the next day, people started making offerings to the Chicago rat hole. They filled it with alcohol and put pennies in it. I think it's like a cheap, specific alcohol that I don't understand the social connotation of, but it's that alcohol. And then people put like little memorials around it. More people stopped by to offer alcohol and Malort. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't fucking know what that is. I don't drink it, but that's the thing. They're putting Malort in the rat hole. Yeah, they've got pennies in there, and then a guy showed up in a Pope costume with a rat mask on and blessed the rat hole and threw a slice of Kraft cheese down at it. So yeah, it's great. I'm loving anything to do with the Chicago rat hole. It's great. People are like, wow, we are watching a new folk deity be created in real time. But yeah, that's the fucking Chicago rat hole. I did hear a horrific rumor that someone had tried to fill it in with concrete, and other people noticed and immediately began trying to scrape the fresh poured concrete out of the Chicago rat hole. Someone made a plaque for the Chicago rat hole. Honestly, I'd be devastated if they filled it in. I hope that they're able to save it and for it to endure forever. Because we need weird, stupid stuff in this world. We need that so bad in order to cope. You gotta really chase your joy anywhere that you can find it these days. And my joy, for a time, was the Chicago rat hole. And if they take the rat hole away, I'll be a little bit sadder. And I can't do anything about it. I don't live in Chicago. But like, yeah, I think the rat hole is great. The community has seemed to embrace it and like that they have a rat hole on their street. So I think the world will be a little bit lessened if we don't have a rat hole anymore. But that's, story time over. That's the Chicago rat hole. The rat hole was filled in. That's devastating, Soda. That's absolutely devastating. What's more devastating is that I had to tell everybody in this chat about the rat hole. How you guys have to know about these things before they get filled in. We could have created a petition. We could have made a change.org petition, which famously is the best way to preserve anything from change. I'm glad the outline remains, at least. The impression of a rat hole in a Chicago sidewalk. Eventually, like, they're gonna be repaving the street in front of my house. Because the city bought it for some stupid reason. I'm not getting into that. The point is, at some point, there will be fresh concrete, and the odds of me taking a plastic rat to that sidewalk are zero, because I would never say something on the internet that could be traced back to me as a person. But if it's my private property that they have to repave, rat hole. I'll wait for tomorrow's update on the rat hole. I've been following this day by day on TikTok, so I'm sure they'll be like, they filled in the rat hole. We dug out part of the rat hole. This is how the rat hole looks. Day like 7. So yeah. Yeah, that's the rat lore that I'm discussing today. I'm glad we have renowned painter and dear friend Lila Mev, who has a channel that like does respectable painting content, tuning in to hear me talk about a rat-shaped hole in the sidewalk. You gotta have friends, and sometimes those friends probably are like, I don't know what the fuck my friend is up to, but I sure am glad that they're doing their little thing again. You know what? I could see myself, like, painting some Skaven. I have Skaven somewhere. I'm always like, yeah, Skaven are really neat, because, like, I like the Rats of Nim. I like little guys. Skaven seem cool. And then I get Skaven, and I, like, look at the sculpt, and I have it sit on my desk, and I put a couple of base coats on it, and then I just lose all enthusiasm for it. So, like, I wish that I liked painting Skaven, but there's just something about them in their current state where I keep not finding the inspiration that I'm hoping for when actually faced with the model, so I have a really difficult time ever gaining any, like, traction with Skaven. Play a rat. Play a rat hole. What would I call him? How do I even communicate that the theme of my army is the Chicago rat hole? Like, there's no way to fucking do that. I do love Redwall. Anno, what the fuck are you doing awake, man? It is easily 2 or 3 a.m. where you are. Go to sleep, my guy. I'm glad that you're here, but you need to sleep. Okay, fine, sure, yes, paved bases, but does that mean I have to sculpt an individual rat hole in every single base? Yeah, I know that there are plenty of Skaven in this. If I wanted Skaven, I'm sure I could acquire some. The thing is, I don't want to get something and then not use it. I don't like doing that. That makes me sad. It makes me feel anxious that I have so many things that I haven't used yet. I don't like that. So, I don't need Skaven at this point. I'm not making a rat hole themed army. Although the joke no sleep till rat hole is fucking hilarious. It's a shame that the rat hole is not close enough to like the convention center where Adepticon is being held that I can just like take my friends in an Uber and have them be like, come on, we're gonna go do an activity, and the activity is just going to the rat hole, because people would hate me for that, but I would think it was very funny, and I'd have a good time. I'd be like, yup, you saw it here, the historic rat hole, and they'd be like, why did we sit in a car for 15 minutes to go see nothing? And I'd be like, yeah, that's fair question. I don't know. Felt like you'd enjoy this rat-shaped hole in the concrete that we started building a religion around. You know, normal stuff like that. rat hole pilgrimage. Consecrate the rat. Dear God. You know what? I will say, if I take a Skaven to the rat hole, like, then I would have to paint it. I'd have to be like, this is the leader of the rat hole guys. But I don't know how far the rat hole is. I also don't know, like, again, I don't know if the rat hole is currently in existence. If it's been filled in or not. So I don't want to plan to go see the rat hole. That's like a whole ass part of Chicago, and Chicago traffic fucking sucks. And again, I don't want to be like, hey guys, the fun part about today is we're gonna drive for 45 minutes to see a rat-shaped hole. I feel like, again, that would just be really difficult to sell people on. You guys periodically seem to be making it easier to sell people on by being like, yeah, I would also want to go to the rat hole. But I don't think you're factoring in that your other options are like, do cool shit at Adepticon, and also it's gonna be really fucking cold. Like, the odds are it will be freezing, you will be in Chicago, and you will stand around a little hole in the pavement for, like, at most 10 minutes, and then go home. I would have a great time, but I love dumb shit like that. I think the average person would be like, that was a complete waste of my time, and also I am very cold now. I don't think you're thinking about this logically. There's a rat hole shirt. Is there a fish? Does the rat hole have merch? Oh no. Oh no. Oh man. Losing it. It's not like we've run out of topics to talk about. I haven't streamed in so long. There's gotta be other stuff that you guys have questions about or want to discuss. But no. We're all sitting around talking about the damn rat hole. True, then you could also go see, like, the Bean and the Muse. I don't actually know what part of Chicago it's in and how close it is to stuff like the Bean. You may not be able to post links. I don't know if that's, like, a thing that just YouTube won't let you do, but if you... Little Frog, you're in our Discord, so you should be able to post it there. Post it in the stuff we talk about on stream section, so I can check it out and see if I need to add it to my fashion repertoire. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you're in Australia, also, what the fuck are you guys doing awake? It's a different time zone there. Should you guys be asleep? Have I not been scolding you? Have I singled out Anno for being up at 3 a.m. when you guys should have been scolded as well? Because I will tell you to go to bed. Stop learning about American folklore and rat holes. It's 2 p.m. Okay, that's normal. You're fine. I don't need to scold you for that. Right? 2 a.m. is the bad one. 2 p.m. is just like, this is what you're doing at a late lunch instead of fucking eating. Or being at... Yeah, you're fine. Okay. You're exonerated. No worries. You're pardoned by the rat pope. Also, whoever said rat hole son, that was very funny, and I did not laugh enough at that joke. It was very good. I'm sorry. There's a lot of rat content. God damn this. I did not attach that leg again. I know I didn't attach that leg, and that's fine. I've opted to attach it after the stream, but I keep thinking that it has been attached when it hasn't. I'm just blocking in a base coat here. Just to see if I like these colors, honestly. They're gonna change as stuff gets highlighted and things like that, but we just want to get the suggestion of vanilla ice cream onto this model. At least I do. You posted a photo to the stream Discord? Okay, let me check that out. Hang on. Let me finish painting this foot. Because I do want to see that rat hole shirt. Please start a cult of the following of the Chicago rat hole. You'll have to find somewhere that sells Malort, I guess. That's such a stupid sounding name for alcohol to have. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but whatever. You made a meme about me in the tanks. Orcs, orcs, orcs. That's so fucking good. Oh my god. Okay. Lots of things flying around. Yeah, the rat hole shirt. The rat pope. Okay. These are great. Yeah, the Chicago Sun fucking reported on the restoration of the rat hole. I seriously hope that they were able to restore it adequately. It looks like they're trying their best. I'm not gonna pay to read the article because I'll just see it on TikTok tomorrow. Skaven Pied Piper Army, that looks rad. I hate that the rat hole shirt, like, it feels appropriate that it's in gray. I don't want it in gray. That's the problem. I don't really love gray t-shirts. But it is for, like, charity, it seems, which is really rad. What organizations do they support? Oh, there's a lot. Hell yeah. Planned Parenthood, Black Lives Matter, the NAACP, Greater Chicago Food Depository, Swedish American Museum? Sick. Yeah, this looks like a good company to buy a t-shirt from. And they say that their t-shirts are sweatshop free. So, like, I'm not gonna say that you have to buy a Chicago rat hole t-shirt, but, like, that's pretty sick. I love that. I will consider adding a rat hole t-shirt to my wardrobe. Although, again, and I do have to specify, I wish that it... Tie-dye it. Andy, yes! That's fucking smart. Andy, 10 out of 10. That is so good. That's such a great suggestion. I can't get it in white. It was not offered in white. But, like, I could dye it. I did order t-shirts. The thing about when you realize later in life that your gender does not match the one that you were assigned at birth is that you've been trying to dress in a way that maybe isn't the most representative of how you want, and you just end up with a lot of t-shirts that don't fit your current aesthetic. So I have used Adepticon as an excuse to purchase t-shirts that I feel like better represent how I would like to dress as a person. I've bought 4. I'm waiting for them to come in the mail. And hopefully the fit on them is good and the print on them is good. Because, you know, when you buy t-shirts online, it's like, is this gonna be good? Is this gonna be shitty? But, like, I do actually need to acquire some new t-shirts as I revamp my wardrobe to better fit how I would like to present myself. The rat hole shirt does feel like I could find a way to incorporate that into my wardrobe. Tie-dyeing is an excellent suggestion. Although I have not tie-dyed a t-shirt since I was like maybe 9 years old. I'm assuming that if a 9-year-old can do it, I can probably figure out how to do it as well. But I definitely don't remember how to tie-dye. It can't be that hard. I'm sure they sell kits for it at like craft stores and stuff. But at the moment, that's kind of where we're at. I feel like Malort would be a great name for a Skaven, like, priest? Do Skavens have priests, or are they, like, wizard-aligned? Someone in this chat is gonna know. Someone's gonna know. And they'll be able to tell us. If Destro were here, we'd be getting some education in Skaven. We'd be getting some wisdom. Also, one of the Aussies said that they would be up until 4 a.m. With just like if the information being discussed was the Chicago rat hole. And like, no, go to bed. Don't do that. Speaking of going to bed, LP, thank you so much for joining us on this absolutely wild ride. Get some rest. Thank you. Again, can't wait to see you at Adepticon. We'll definitely hang out, even if we're not going to see the rat hole. I hope you have a good night. Get some sleep. Skaven do have priests. Okay. I love how passionate we all are about the rat hole. Hell yes. I don't have people who are always passionate about the same stupid shit that I give a fuck about. They will amusedly laugh, but like, you guys are involved. You're invested. You want to make a pilgrimage. I love that. I'm loving the energy. I truly, truly am. You guys want the lore, the tradition. It's great. I'll find some TikToks about the Chicago rat hole, and I'll be throwing those into the Discord. Which is another reason to join our Discord server, if you have not already, for the fucking rat hole content that's about to happen. My partner, by the way, I have been sending him rat hole TikToks. Because he needs to know. And I don't know if he really gives a fuck or not, but he always seems amused. So, maybe I should convince him that we need to go... No, I will not convince him that we need to go to the Chicago rat hole. Because it's gonna be I don't want to go because it's gonna be fucking cold. If it was gonna be, like, a moderate temperature, then I'd be fine. But it's gonna be Chicago in, like, spring, winter, and that's just gonna be nasty. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, shipping to Australia is horrific. If you're coming to Adepticon, little frog, which I don't think that you are, but if you were, I would bring you a Chicago rat hole shirt there if you wanted me to. We could work that out. I think it'll be okay if you make your own. Just donate. Like, if you're gonna make your own Chicago rat hole shirt, donate to a Chicago charity listed on like the rat hole shirt website, the same amount that you would have just paid for the shirt, And I think that, like, ordains it by the rat pope, you know? I think that's like those indulgences that you can post. You can pay the Catholic Church, and then that gives you just the license to draw a shitty version of the rat hole on a t-shirt and say that it's official. It's probably the best offer that I've ever made. Bro, if you want, I'll just bring you a rat hole t-shirt. I do mean bro in like a genderless way, so I'm sorry if that was the wrong one to use. I should have asked Little Frog, but I didn't. I would like to be bros with a little frog, and that's the truth. I don't think that the way GW is gonna make more Skaven money is by associating it with the rat hole. I think that GW just needs to make new Skaven models, and then people like Destro who have been starved for new Skaven models will simply purchase them. I don't think that that GW needs the rat. I don't think that GW deserves the rat hole. Like, the rat hole should not be used for corporate enterprise. The rat hole manifested in a random place in a random Chicago neighborhood for no, like, we don't want the rat hole. We don't want to know the origin. Like, some guy was trying to explain it and was like, maybe it wasn't actually a rat that made it. It could have been a squirrel. And it's like, shut up, man. The hole is shaped like a rat. It's blessed by the rat pope. The offerings to it are cheap alcohol and pennies. Like, the last thing that I want to see is the rat hole monetized. I don't want to see that. The guy who found it and posted about it is, like, an artist, and enough people, like, watched his TikTok and saw his art after, like, he posted about the rat hole, that he made enough money to pay his rent for the month. Like, that is the kind of thing that I think the rat hole should be doing. It should be giving you, like, finding $5 on the street kind of blessing. It's not like, hey, let's make an entire like business out of the rat hole. It's there to, like, just give back in a small way to people who respect it. And G-dubs would not respect the fucking rat hole. They would not. They would not respect it. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. Well, James, we can't all be sponsored by Into the AM. So I have 0 Into the AM shirts. But I may one day have a rat hole t-shirt. I feel like I've said the phrase rat hole too many times on one stream. I don't know if YouTube has an official stated limit for that. This is going to be a wild one for anyone who watches it back. Is this a you had to be there thing, or have we cataloged? I've explained it, so people would know. Little Frog, you couldn't be more right. I'm glad that bro is fine, and I'm glad that you think that. I'm so happy. That is true. Skaven do have gnaw holes. You could easily make one. Well, I actually don't know what a gnaw hole looks like, but you might have a religious obligation if you decide to, you know, commune with the rat hole to turn the gnaw hole into a rat hole. I will not be rebranding to rat hole miniatures. I think that that's going to give people a very different idea about the kind of content that I make. And I feel like sugar candy miniatures is pretty on point. The things that I paint tend to look like sugar and candy. They don't tend to look like the Chicago rat hole. So, I won't be rebranding. Sorry to disappoint. I truly, truly don't want to let anybody down, but I like the name that I chose for my channel. I don't want to rebrand it. Listen, if there's one thing that I can do, like, usually I'm like, oh man, you should maybe consider watching Chainsaw Man, or this movie that I saw was really good and you should consider seeing it, or like this obscure Chinese anime is pretty dope. Like, I love recommending shit like that to people, but like, if the thing that people actually look up and want to support based on my recommendation is the Chicago rat hole, I can die happy with that legacy. Like, that's great. Who was I? I was a goddamn prophet of the rat pope. Or maybe like an oracle? I don't know what the difference between those two is, but I'd be one of those things, specifically for the Chicago rat hole. I guess it would be more like profiting, because I'm spreading the word. I'm getting the people involved. Sorry. It's just, sometimes you realize what you're saying and you can't believe it was your mouth that said it, but boy, it was. Oh, man. Good times. There are definitely some streams where I feel like I just run out of shit to talk about, but apparently this one, that's not gonna be one of those ones. We've got some solid content in this episode. And that's great. And look at how much base coding I've got done. I was dreading doing this. I was only intending to stream for like, an hour and a half or so, you know, as long as I was like doing some work. And here we are, talking about rat holes and LVO hot takes. It's a good day. It's a good day to be making content. Even if your Titan keeps breaking because you didn't glue it together really all that well. And that's fine. The best topic of conversation leaves everyone involved going, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. Listen, I think the world is serious enough that, like, we could definitely use some levity. I know my audience. I know that, like, we're all horrified by the genocide happening in Palestine. Like, that's horrific, and frankly, I don't feel comfortable a lot of the time discussing any real world issues because I'm not educated and smart on topics like that. I find them very important, of course, but very draining, and I'm not an authority, and I'm not smart enough to speak on these things and be like, this is what you should or shouldn't be doing. There are way smarter people than me, and they're out there advocating and figuring stuff out, and you should just listen to them because I'm not. I'm a fucking miniature painter, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, goddamn, I can take a break and tell you about a rat-shaped hole in a Chicago sidewalk. Steamboat Willie did just become public domain. That is true. And there are fun thing that you bring up with Steamboat Willie, right? Is that it became public domain. Similar to how Winnie the Pooh became public domain a few years prior. Hence? No, prior. Before. I don't know which one of those is right. I don't think it's important. The creator of the horror film Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, went on to talk about how he doesn't think people should just immediately jump onto making Steamboat Willie horror movies. And they should really consider how to make a good horror movie with the IP. And I'm like, the words that you're saying are correct in a way. Like, I don't believe them because I think it's funny. And while I would love a quality Steamboat Willie horror movie, I am more than satisfied to get a shit one. Like, I'm just gonna watch it because I think it's funny. I think it's objectively funny that is something that we get to have. And I want to see it. There's nothing deeper than that. Like, that is the entire reasoning, and I think I am correct to do and think so. But this guy was like, they're not gonna use the IP in a smart way, like I did. And I'm sitting here because I've watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and it's like half interesting for the first 2 minutes, and then almost immediately, one of the next scenes is just typical slasher stuff where the guy happens to be in a Winnie the Pooh mask. Like, the Winnie the Pooh killer guy chases a young, attractive woman into a garage, and then her, like, the hem of her shirt gets caught in a wood chipper and then gets completely ripped off so that you can have a topless scene in a cheap horror movie. Like, I'm sorry, this director is telling the people who are gonna make adaptations of Steamboat Willie but make it horror that they need to be classy about it? Sir, did you watch your own movie? Did you? You're the one saying these words? Like, I don't think that you're wrong to be making the point that you're making, but, like, you certainly didn't do that. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is not, it's not classy. It's not good. It's, in fact, very bad. The only things you had going for it is that, again, the first 2 minutes were kind of interesting, and then the design of the mask was very good. But, like, what? I was dying reading that article. I was like, what the fuck? How can you say that? How can you say that? It was hilarious. Because, yeah, inevitably, the Steamboat Willie horror movie, like, at least one of them, of the 2 that I think have been announced, probably bound to just be like, there's nothing interesting going on in this film. It is a low-budget horror film. The evil Mickey Mouse mask is actually pretty good. And then that's it. And, like, that's gonna be the same problems. Oh, man, he was talking about it. Like, the impression that I got from reading that article is that he just thought his film was, like, really nuanced and well-made and that he used the IP really well. And he didn't. He fucking didn't. So, that's funny. It's great. Oh, you watched The Boy and the Heron. Cool. I hope you enjoyed it. I watched it too. It was fine. I don't have anything kind or extremely thoughtful to say about it. Beautifully animated. I do think it's Miyazaki's weakest film that he's made to date, and that's kind of all I really want to say about it. I can't format anything I have to say in, like, interesting kind of critical analysis of it. I don't have very deep thoughts about it. Unlike, apparently, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which I was perfectly willing to discuss. Wind Rises is great. It kind of broke my heart. It's a good film. I like Miyazaki's work on the whole. I think he makes good stuff. On the whole. But not every film is incredible to me. I think that for keeping the tradition of 2D animation alive, like, yeah, I'll give him a pass. I don't care. I don't care that The Boy and the Heron wasn't the best film I've ever seen. I think it deserves to be made by merit of the amount of artistry that went into it. Happy enough for that. I just wish I had also liked it, which I didn't, but again, is fine. I did like there were some scenes and some aspects which I did like. But yeah, there's other Miyazaki films that I like a lot better. I mean, Princess Mononoke is a fantastic film. It's incredible, and that's always one that I'll be like, yeah, I'm really glad I get to live in a world where this exists, because this is a pretty fantastic film, and it's really long and detailed and beautiful, and that's cool. I've never actually seen Nausicaa. I should get around to watching that one. I think of all of the Studio Ghibli films out there, there's quite a few that affect me in very deep ways, and those tend to be the ones that I look at and really have an emotional resonance with, but they're not always the most popular ones. When I watched the Tale of Princess Kaguya, I think is how you pronounce it. I could be saying that very wrong. I didn't know that story. I assume it's like a folk tale. But I didn't know it, which is cool. I like folk stories that I don't know. But I did not realize it would also be a sad story, and it affected me a lot. So I like that one. And I do like Spirited Away a great deal. Spirited Away just feels very unlike any other film that I've seen. It's very interesting and strange, and I like that. Lobster doesn't like the fact that I've been in this room for quite some time, but we're getting towards the 3-hour mark, so we might see if we can hit that. I don't know. I am getting somewhat tired of base coating, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to drill the gun barrels because I'm just going to be filling them with little dollops of whipped cream later anyway. And also, I never drill the gun barrels because it's dumb and I don't have time for it. And frankly, if they wanted me to drill the gun barrels, they should have done it on the model. Like, I'm not doing that. No thank you. That's not me. If you want the gun barrels drilled, sculpt it the fuck in the model. I'm not going to be taking care of that. Yeah, I know that Ono also worked on Nausicaa, which is cool. We love when he's the Evangelion man, isn't he? I'm pretty sure. Ono's the Evangelion man, not the Akira guy. Plagiarize some assets to make some super low effort OC in the Discord? Okay, should I be checking that out? Hang on. Ugh. It's getting to look like chocolate milk, this water over here. Yep, okay, cool. I was right. I knew that name. Plague Priest. Steamboat Willie horror game. Excellent. People are lowest effort OC. Beautiful. That's fantastic. I love that. A beautiful rat hole sun for us. Thank you. Thank you. Your contribution is noted and appreciated. Again, I have no authority to speak for the Rat Pope. I'm not... I don't know how you get that authority. I don't know how you get granted the favors of the Chicago Rat Hole. All I am doing is telling you that it exists. I'm not telling you that you have to feel any kind of way about it. Although, Frankly, your positive response to the Chicago rat hole brightens my day. It makes me happy. I need to paint that vanilla colored. So yeah, I'm glad that it's really taken off for you guys. Truly I am. I feel like it's been a while since we've been unhinged in the things we talk about on stream channel. It feels good to be getting back to it. It feels correct. No, that's fair. Listen, you made something new with it, and I think what you should do is you should get one of the one of the like apocalypse pictures from Berserk, with the eclipse, or you should get one of the ones from Bloodborne with the eclipse, or one of the ones from Dark Souls with the eclipse, which are all Berserk references. Put the rat up there. Put the rat on the death moon from Berserk. It'll be good. It's not a moon, it's just an eclipse, but that scene, the scene in Berserk, someone knows what I'm talking about. Put the rat on that. That's probably fine. I don't know. Is that rat... I feel like you're using it for comedic purpose or parody or whatever protects you from copyright infringement. And also, I'm not going to report you for copyright infringement for something you post in the Discord. You're fine. It's a meme. It's fine. Blessings of the rat god be upon you. Jesus. I need to stop saying things about the Chicago rat hole. Dude, if you commission me a fucking rat hole painting and ship it to me, I would adore that. I would hang that gladly in my house. Please do that. I would love that so much. I'll put it, depending on color scheme, I'll put it in the hobby room. Lila usually watches this stream while, like, editing or doing other stuff. So, like, sometimes she just is busy with, like, important things and isn't always chiming in when we're on our nonsense. But, like, yeah, who knows? It's fine. Lila left to go see. Jeez. I think this is probably where we're gonna about call it, but I am gonna reattach the leg here. Gonna see how that is situated. Get some Tamiya on here. Everybody swears by this stuff. I'm not sure if it's my favorite plastic glue. I don't know. I've had a lot of things kind of break, like this leg, while using Tamiya. So maybe I'm just not using enough, or I'm not finding good contact points or something. I don't exactly know what's going on, but maybe we can get a blessing from the rat hole on this one. Hopefully, that's good, and that'll fuse together and become one solid piece of plastic. And that'll do. We made some fucking fantastic progress, though. Got so much of this base coated. Like, I want to put it together and kind of show it off, but I'm not going to be moving that leg. But that'll help weigh it down and push it into the point, so that's why that's going to sit there. But, like, I mean, I'm going to be doing freehand on this mask, on these panels. We've got the arms going. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Oh man, Ah, sick. She's doing a boss. Which boss is she fighting, James? Give us a report. That sounds great. Yeah, he's a fine boy that we've got going. I'm sorry that you're coming in here at like the end of it, Liam, because man, has it been a stream. We've been discussing all kinds of things. Mostly the Chicago rat hole, but also just anything and everything. It's been a wild one. It's been a good time, but it is about time for me to pack up. Okay, she's at the first floor of the moon tower. Okay, sick. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll be able to watch it back. The stream will be up so you can see all that's going on. Yeah, I'm sorry that you missed this one. I'm hoping that because I have a big project to work on, I'll be streaming more often. I can't really guarantee that. I don't know what all is going to happen, but I'll try. I'll do my best. I like hanging out with you guys and talking with you, and this has been a rather good stream, frankly. So I'm hoping that I feel motivated to get back into it. But yeah, this is where I'm gonna sign off for the night. I think I've got everything all nice and tidied up, and I will put the lid more securely on my Tamiya this time. So thank you everybody so much for joining us. I really had a blast, and I hope that you have a great rest of your night. Have a good one out there.